machine kuda I can turn off if I want, or I can simply close. So my case, I'm just turning off. Okay, shut down. This is shut down అయిపోయింది. Only control ఒకటే ఆన్ లో ఉంది. Now the question comes, you should have another okay, Windows operating system to కావాలి. So what I'll do is I'll just create another one. Okay, ఒక 12 server తీసుకుంటున్నాను, 2000. Okay, so ఇలా ఇస్తున్నాను ఐడెంటిఫై చేయడానికి. Intel or external, I think this is an existing machine. Get up to next, finish. So ఒక machine start అవుతుంది, దీన్ని నేను చెక్ పాయింట్ కొట్టి ప్రాసెసర్స్ పెంచుకుంటున్నాను. జస్ట్ బికాస్ మనకి ప్రాసెసర్స్ తర్వాత అవసరం ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి పెంచాను. ప్లస్ ర్యామ్ కూడా 10 GB వరకు వెళ్తుంది. సో ఫైన్ చేసేసాను. సో ఇప్పుడు ఇది మామూలుగా విండోస్ అయిపోవాలి, అవునా?
ఓకే.
దిస్ మెషిన్ ఆల్రెడీ గాట్ OS ఉంది, బట్ ప్రీవియస్గా ఉండే there is a concept called sysprep. You just go through the concept sysprep. Okay.
Yes.
Type it ISPREP. Okay. So sysprep. Okay. So just go through the sysprep concepts. Okay? It will be useful anyway. I'll be taking a class on that, but you can once go through it. వినబడుతుందా?
వినబడుతుంది.
బాగా నాయిస్ వస్తుంది నాకే. సో ఐ జస్ట్ క్లియర్
రాజ్, నా వాయిస్ వినిపిస్తుంది కదా మీకు?
కత్తి కష్టం మీద కొంచెం పర్వాలేదు.
ఓకే.
I'm going to set some password. And as a first step, what I'm going to do is I will activate this machine. So 180 days hotadi. At this moment it is not activated. So okay, activated. Okay, no. I have to add this machine to the domain, right? Yes. No. So I'm going to add, but what happened is this machine does not have IP address. Okay. This has a na other lab lo nundi ichanu. So it's 192 series. Okay. And just want to explain to you, I have two network cards. Okay. Is external. So when I connect to external, I get internet. Okay. But the lab will be on internal for me. Okay. So our domain controller, everything is in our internal. So what I'll do is I'll take it to internal. In ఎందుకు external వెళ్ళానంటే just to get internet and activate, so we can enjoy 180 days. Guys, in generally, if you have a machine with internet, that's fine. Okay, for in my case, I don't have in that way. Okay, na?
Okay.
Yes. Now what I'll do is to a machine to the domain, I should have a IP address. Yes, no?
Yes.
Okay, so this is 92 series lone undi inka IP. What I do is I'll change the IP series. Okay, let me So what is our again? You can call, right?
Connected.
Uh,
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay.
One second. Lost. Okay. All I'll do is now. What is our IP address range? Do you remember?
Yeah.
What is our subnet? అదే subnet లో ఉండాలి.
One.
Do you remember? Okay. If so, 11.
7.0.0.
Can be anything, right? The ending one.
Yeah.
So what I do is I take it as 100. Okay.
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 Yeah.
What is
One.
DNS server name?
Yeah.
Okay. What is our domain name?
Name Tata something.
Tata dot local.
Local. Yeah. That's it.
Right. So we save this. Now let's ping to Tata dot local. Pinging, right? That means it's
Yes.
fine. Now what we have to do, we have to add to the domain. Okay. Do you know how to add to the domain? If you don't know, you can again. It's a revision kind of class, right?
Okay.
So you go things. See, the computer name is very ugly, so we'll just change the computer name. Okay, the standard. Okay, INHYDTCS hyphen example. Okay, sim 0
Okay.
1. Fine.
Yeah.
See, configuration manager.
Manager.
The name is CM, right? Okay. So it requires a reboot, right? It restarts simply. Let okay. See, do and into the machine and join the machine to do.
Change.
So I want this to be again and again come, so I closed it. Okay, so Tata the Madivali ikkada. Madivali? Tata domain lo or member add a atandi vali. So we'll leave that. Is it okay? Okay, and it is to restart. Okay, so I restart it. Okay, if you look at here, it is trying to log into the local account, but we want to log in into Tata domain, right?
Yeah.
So, Tata bash administrator account. Okay. So this is how we can add it to the domain. You get me, right? So that's why I took some time to how to create a domain, adding, because it will be useful later point of time. Revision అయిపోయిందా previous class Bala as request. అయినట్టే.
అయింది.
ఓకే, గుడ్. అయినప్పుడు నువ్వు అంత గట్టిగా మాట్లాడినా కూడా మాకు చిన్నగా వినబడుతుంది. అలాంటి రికార్డింగ్ చూసుకోరు పొద్దున. రామా, లోగా వినబడితే తన్ని వాయిస్ చాలా లో ఉంది. హీ విల్ రియలైజ్. Okay. So next thing is, okay, what I'm going to do is I'll be logging to my blog. I'll explain you the pre-requirements. So pre-requirements one, right? Yeah. So
Okay.
what are the things we required is we required requirements calling. So that is basically comes under IAS. Bits is required. You know why bits? What is bits? You know, right? It can resume, right? Hello. Yeah, background intelligent transfer service, right?
Yeah, background intelligence transfer.
Right. Okay. Hello.
Yeah.
His voice not given.
రిఫ్లెక్ట్ అవుతుంది.
అదే అర్థం కాదు. Sounds. Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah.
Bro, వినిపిస్తుందిగా? నాదా? ఓకే. చేస్తాను.
Rama?
Yeah.
Clear. So it's a problem with the Bala.
అవును.
No doubt. Okay. Yeah. I'll go through it. Bala, you can be on mute. I think you're once again trying to record, or maybe some kind of mic you kept it open. Okay, if so, you can stop that. Okay. So next thing is so we IAS installation. So how do you install IAS? So you go here, okay, manager from here, or go to the administrative tools, manager, okay. From you can install any kind of role. So in our case, we can go manager roles, okay. So we'll fetch the refreshment. Okay, when it does, what happens is whatever the roles go installed, it will try to fetch. Then it will list here how many roles got installed. In this case, 0. We want to install one of the role. If you don't like this wizard, if you want to skip it, you can skip with this. Next would be IAS. Okay, example.
Okay, got it.
Next. Okay, next. Now here, these are the roles related features. Okay, related features. See, every role will function for some key feature related. Okay, so inside features you can select what you want, what you don't want. Okay, so I did mention here very particularly what to take, what not to take inside this. For example, common HTTP, okay, or common HTTP, these things. Okay? Yeah. So these are the things you can choose and take it. Okay. So I'll be taking that and coming to the .NET. Okay, it required things will automatically add. Okay. Okay. And don't add all this. Okay, what happens is SCCM gets failed which is trying to do some kind of functionality. Maybe, for example, ASP.NET is required for, in fact, it is for management point. Okay, so if this is not there, it may fail. Okay, now, so coming to the health related loads, okay, tracing, okay. Security, yeah, you must need basic Windows, okay, URL authorization and request filtering must be there. IP and domain restriction. Things are required. Coming to the this is management tools. Management tools, it is required everything. Yeah, this is a performance static one. That's the default one, okay?
Okay.
The default one will be, okay? Under this management tools, everything is required. Because what happened is these functionalities still designed to work with IIS 6. Okay, the current version of IIS is 7.5, okay? I mean on 2008 R2, okay? So what is IIS is Internet Information Services, which is which you to host kind of websites, right? So our management point and DP will function as a website for a client, okay? But you don't open, okay? Client will, the software will itself open and it will try to browse this specific URLs and things will be done, whatever you configure, okay, in the background. Okay, so that's why the program, the engine was, or the coding was compatible for IIS 6. That's why you should, all this related components, okay? So the things you should, do it, okay? Then click on next and install. So this gets installed in a minute. Okay. There are roles to install now. So next one would be the features. Okay, I don't want to install features. I want to see the errors. Okay, let me know how and what kind of errors we get it. Okay. Okay. Let's insert STD for SCCM 22. Right. So what I'm going to do is, this has only one network card. If you see, okay, this has only one network card, which is I can internal. Okay, right?
Yes.
So just I want another network card also. So whenever I want internet, okay, I should have another network card. So I'll just shut down this machine. I'll add another network card. Okay, come on. So don't think that this will be quick for any other machine. It won't be this much of quick. Okay, I'm at external also. Okay, start my machine. After login, I get two different networks. There's a button for Control Alt Del. Okay, I press Control Alt Del. So you have internet. You won't get here the icon like this. Okay, the icon is no gray here or the orange, but okay, that you have internet. Okay, so what is this for internet, right? So disable this whenever I want. I'll use it in my lab. Okay, because my lab has a limitation that in one machine, one network card doesn't get internet and lab, because I wanted to isolate. Okay, the limitation of my lab. Okay, in production it will not be the case. This is SCCM 2012 CD looks like. Okay, I think I forgot where is the source. Okay, because a lot of switch I have this. So This is what you can go and install software. Okay, so first step is, hey, you don't have .NET 3.5.
One.
Okay, and for more information, have a look on this log file. So whatever you are going to install, it creates a log file under C::config setup. Okay, so to open this log file, it will open in a notepad which looks very ugly for us. Okay, to read. So there is a tool. Okay, free tools. CD. Okay, you go to the CD and set up tools. There is a tool called CM Trace. Okay, just copy this and paste in your top or somewhere. Okay, double click. It'll ask what extension ending with .log. Okay, .log. Can I read that? By default, yes. Okay. That means it will open with that. For example, now I know if I go to C drive now, if I click this, it will not open in Notepad. Instead, it will open in CM Trace. Okay, who is best friend for troubleshooting? It would be your CM Trace, because this gives you everything. For example, now you got error. These many things you have, but it is marked as error as in red, right? It gives you more clear, where exactly the error came. Okay, if you install that .NET framework, you go here and get it and download and install. Okay, in this way, it gives you proper guidance to you. Okay, na?
Yeah.
For framework is, for your information, it is one of the features from. Okay, if you look at here, one feature got installed. So if I add, I .NET framework 3.1, right? I click here, and also right, bits is required. Okay, there's also another tool called RDC, or we can later point also we can come back and see. Basically, here on top of it there would be RDC. Okay, remote differential compression. Okay, this is called RDC. This is also required. If you want, I can take this, or later point also I can take it. So I'm not taking enough. I want to get as many errors I can get. Okay, so that you will experience the errors coming and how do come off it from while installing the SCCM 2012. Okay, so it's installed in a minute. Yeah, it's installed very quick. Now if I again click on it, okay, it says that to run this you must install one of the following. Now it is talking about .NET Framework 4. Earlier it was only 3. Got it? So,
Update.
it requires a .NET Framework. Okay. So again, at the same time, you did not close your log file. Still, appended the next line. Trace can automatically append the log as it changes. The file as it changes, you can read it what is going on inside that. So it's more helpful, right? So it is that you need to have .NET Framework 3.0 is installed. Setup. If I click OK, create WF file. Okay, and once again, so it has failed. 3.0 installed, but framework is not installed. WPF is the framework 4.0. Okay, we'll do that. Okay, in a minute. So these are the this is how you can do installation for SCCM 2012 related. Also, you have another option. Okay, to get only instead of installing, there is an option to check all the pre-requirements at once. So I'm going to show you that. Okay, in a minute. So go to C SMS bin. Okay, from x64. Okay, there is something called pre-requirements. Pre-check. Type would be application. This is the one, right? So this should actually run in a command window. Okay, with right. go to your CD, it is located to the part. I type pre-check question mark. So this gives you plenty of options. Okay, so one would be the whether you want to install primary site or secondary site. So in my case, I'm going to install primary site. So what I can do is PRI I can give. So PRI. So then what will happen? Gives you more examples. Okay, so I, or you can double click it basically. So it is PRI site. See, all these things should be mentioned. So I just Google. Okay, give me a minute. Rick, right? Okay, one second. So if you search, okay. So what is the computer name? INHYD
TCS-CM01.
Okay, chalo, with that only. Not a problem. Okay, so there's a folder. You so admin UI only.
ఇవాళ ఏమైతుంది SCCM ఇన్స్టాల్ చేయడం కన్నా ముందు ఏమేమి ఇన్స్టాల్ చేయాలి అనేది ప్రీరిక్వెస్ట్ చెప్తారా?
ప్రీరిక్వెస్ట్ చెక్ చేసి చూపిస్తుంది.
ఓకే.
One. So this edit only given this. Not a problem. Okay, we'll get that in another way. Okay, I have another option. Okay, let's first install the SQL. Okay, so that we get rid of this error, which is .NET Framework 4. Okay, so the problem is .NET what it says is version will automatically come when you install .NET Framework. Okay, so just get out of this problem. Sorry. So what we'll do is now we'll install SQL. Okay. So let's you can copy. We'll put it later point. Okay, maybe this CD. So now we'll put it inject SQL. So what are the SQL versions it is supported is SQL is required.
2008.
Yeah, 2012 take it. Okay.
2012 or 2.
Only. Let's free. Give me a minute, guys. Okay, I have not checked it. Okay. Okay. So now I'll install SQL, that is SQLF full. Okay. Sorry, this is the one. So if you double click it, SQL full. Okay. Automatically it starts the installation. Okay. Or you can click this. Okay. Then the setup will start. Once again, once this entire installation is done, okay, remind me. I on pre-requirements, okay, can install with SQL 2012 or 2008 or 2000 or 2005. All those things we can discuss. Okay, some of the pre-requirement softwares will be there. Okay, but for now, what I'm going to do is I wanted you to get familiarity with the software installation. Okay, after that, what to be taken, what not to taken, we can easily come to that point. Okay, so this is the installation tab. Okay, then click on next, SQL standalone installation. Okay, this is the SQL guys, who actually install for you, and you will only install your SCCM binaries.
Okay.
Still, in some cases, okay, you may ask your help or something like that. So if you look at here, looking all these pre-requirements things, even if it is this to .NET also does all those things. Okay, all these are the pre-requirements actually. What this is done for SQL installation, there is another pre-requirements like .NET framework, all those things that gets installed now. Okay.
Okay.
Like still pre-requirements untai. For example, .NET framework. Okay. That all those things should get installed. So this is evolution copy which worked for me 6 months. Okay, say okay, fine. I don't have full. So the licensing terms and conditions you can accept. So the installation part is very lengthy in other way. Okay, guys, remember this. Installation part is very lengthy. Okay, because it's a combination of lot of things. Then it gets installed. You need to have SCCM to function properly. IAS and WSS you need to have. Using operating system deployment, WDS should be installed. SQL for all of its background. Okay, and their service packs, everything should be installed.
Okay.
SQL, then SCCM can be installed.
Okay.
Okay.
So while installing this SCCM, since we got an opportunity to talk, and actually you can do the pre-reg check before installation with this command line. Okay. What happens is if you give all the answers, okay, for the SCCM installation example, before actually you're going to hit on the confirm to install SCCM. During that time, it again rechecks everything and then it prompts you to can I install or not. Okay. Got it? So it does actually, and in front of you, and you can have a look on it. What is installed, what is not installed. Okay. So it's checking for is product. Since is no internet connectivity, we can skip and proceed next. Okay. Some of the so getting installed. Let it. I was talking on a mute.
లేదు వినిపిస్తుంది నాకు. వినిపిస్తుందిగా.
ఇప్పుడు చెప్పాను, తన క్వశ్చన్ అడిగారు కదా, దాని ఆన్సర్ చెప్పానా?
అది రాలేదు.
మరి అది ఓకే. సో యా, you first have to install IIS, then SQL covers. In this we'll come to know, the few pre-requirements get we installed. See, for example, .NET related, all those pre-requirements, whatever it is there, that gets installed. Okay, of the SQL installation. So helps you to exactly the required requirements installation. So this will be installed pre-requirement required things. So what happens is people can warning can be ignored. Okay, click next. Here we are going here with this SQL Server feature installation. We will install reporting services which used for the reports. Okay, to get some reports from SCCM, you need to install reporting services also. So this is a standard installation which we are not changing at all. Okay, it will SQL database, okay, reporting services. This one, reporting service. If it is two, it is more than enough. Okay, you can check my log again. Where is that pre-requirements one? Yeah. So we just did this, okay, IIS, and then this is the ADK, which I'll talk on ADK. We can install, okay, and this is a SQL one, okay. SQL is getting installed like this, okay. Here I did mention here the screen, okay. So here the first one and the full SQL database has been taken, okay. This also this includes the search engine for support full text extraction for fast search. Okay, the indexing purpose looks like, okay. Okay, and for connect, these are the server components, okay. The SQL also have a front end to connect, that is called Studio Management. If you want all those Studio Management, you can install here. Client connectivity tools will be there, okay, and SDK, client backward compatibility to connect it, okay. This should basic management also. That's it, okay. These are things are required at least for the basic installation.
Okay.
Okay, so when this is done, okay, I'll recheck skills for data integrations. You got a client you cannot record documentation. If you want to go through the documents you need, that's it, okay. Click next. If you are for every component in this page, 4.0 is getting installed, right? So these two of them passed, okay. Next. So this is going to be your SQL Server instance name, okay. By default name which gives by Microsoft from day one as SQL Server. So you can take it as next. Okay, now SQL Server has functionalities it does, right? So inside SQL Server also few other functionalities code distributed with few of these services to function properly. In our case, if you look at these services got trying to start with, for example, SQL Server is running with NT SQL Server agent. If you want to change this, we can change to some other service name. Okay. So we will get an error. Okay. Later point. Okay. Anyway, but for now we'll just continue to install the as it is. Okay. Or you can change it to local account, which is one of the account. Maybe you create in production. What they do is basically do is in production they create an account. Okay, a service account. Okay, service engine was what it was. Local. Okay, I've changed local service. Okay. I can change to local service, or I can give some user account which can automatically do this functionality. So we will start this service. So so I can specify a network in that case. I'd actually use the default one, but okay, network was taken, and who should be first SQL database administrator? There should be some person to be admin, right? So we add as a user who my the administrator account which I'm going to install. Okay. Here, earlier, with the old version of SQL, you used to change the change locally. Means there's a language specific things you should be changing, but now by default anyway the SQL 12 now get installed. So installation will start, and this takes another 50-20 minutes or so. Okay.
Okay. వైలేషన్ స్టెప్ బై స్టెప్ మన బ్లాగ్ లో ఉంది కదా.
This is what the step-by-step installation. Okay. See, this is IAS. Okay, part. After IAS, what you can do? You install the ADK. This is ADK. Okay, but I have not started ADK. ADK can be installed later point also. Okay, why I have not installed this? I want to show you the errors. Okay. So that's not installed. Okay. After that, you can do the SQL. Okay. And one SQL is done. WS should be there, which you have gone through yesterday's video. Okay. After that, you have to install this. Okay. This is another role. Okay. This is for use for the patch management set, but we'll talk later point. Okay, that. Apart from that, you need to create a group policy also. Sorry, WDS can be later also installed anyway. That matter here, but these are the group policies you should create. These group policies, so these will ensures that your client communication would happen from server to client, because we need to open few ports. Okay, that can be create a group policy. That's the end of the pre-requirements. Then you can start away installing the SQL server. Sorry, SCCM. Yeah.
Okay. అయ్యా ఈ సాఫ్ట్వేర్స్ అన్ని మనకి ఎక్కడ ఇస్తారు ఇన్స్టాల్ చేయడానికి? ఇవన్నీ ఎక్కడ ఉంటాయి?
Question. Very good question. I appreciate it. So I happens is these softwares already should be available from your msdn.microsoft.com. Okay, so if you are in a company, okay, they give you an access to, okay, site called mm, mouse keyboard. Okay, okay. So if you go
Yeah.
to the MSDN downloads, okay,
Okay.
okay. So here they give you all the downloads, okay. So these are softwares, right? Latest softwares also, but you have to log it with your user account. Okay, it will have your what CD keys, brings to your organization. Okay. Now,
Okay.
if you want for your lab purpose, what I've done is, okay, happy with the mouse keyboard was not to buy one. So if you go to the Google Drive, I did already gave all the softwares here. Okay, the softwares for your lab. So for example, the SQL which I'm talking is the SQL full. It will download as and gets downloaded as a SP3. So after installing SQL, you have to install Service Pack 3. And similarly, SCCM, this is the latest version. Automatically required things would automatically get installed. So the R2 SCCM, one SP2, this is 1511 actually, and the R2 software. Okay, for lab, Windows AD, DNS, everything can be configured on these machines. Okay, I did not mention for Windows 7, but what I've done is in the Google Drive I kept as the downloadable CD. Okay, Windows 7 and 10 or Evolution, nothing is which works 180 days, which is 6 months.
Okay.
Lab. If you want to do it, yeah, software level, just one click, load everything. Nice. Which I have, which I'm going to give you. Okay, when you click on launch button, okay, three missions. Okay, one is the central site, primary site, secondary site. 3. Okay.
Okay.
In our actual class, we will only talk about only primary site. Okay, but it's all primary, central, primary, secondary. All this can be done. Okay. So what's the manual? So you have a manual here. Okay. So download this manual. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
1 second. First, what you have to do here is mentioned. What is your objectives? You have 75 minutes. Okay. This is primary, secondary, and the password, admin, all these things. As a first step, you have to extend schema. I have not talked about schema at this point of time. Okay. Just go here. Okay. From open this. Okay. Verify. No errors. Then do. Okay. ఇక్కడ మొత్తం step by step. Just follow this. Okay. Step by step you have to follow why you are doing. Okay. It will also explain here. So in case he's talking about central site installation splash file which we just opened earlier in the mundu. So అది ఇందులో నీకు ఇవన్నీ మన స్టెప్స్ కాలేదు ఇంకా. Okay. If you get you may actually if I start explaining to you site like all things ఇక్కడ చేస్తే ఇన్స్టాల్ అయిపోతుంది. సో ఇట్ హ్యాస్ ఆల్రెడీ SQL server. Okay, looks like yeah, so SQL. Okay, it will already SQL for you. Okay, has done already all the pre-requirements. Okay, the installation part only available. Okay, so see the roles already installed. Okay, so here the R2 splash file. Okay, I can show you here. Okay, in meantime, if you want, say install. Okay.
Okay. ఇచ్చిందంటే అయితే ప్రీరిక్విజిట్స్ అన్ని ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసే ఉన్నాయి.
అంతకని లేదు, నీకు కావాలనుకుంటే నువ్వు చేస్తా అనుకుంటా అని అన్ని ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసుకో అదే నేను
ఓకే.
అంతే.
యా, ప్రీరిక్విజిట్స్ అన్ని ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసే మాన్యువల్ అయితే ఉంది కదా మన దగ్గర.
వీడియో రికార్డింగ్ ఉంది, అలా కాదు, మీకు వీడియో రికార్డింగ్ ఉంది ఒకటి. మీరు లేజీ కానీ మీకు ఒక వీడియో రికార్డింగ్ ఉంది, 2 బ్లాగ్ పోస్ట్ ఉంది, ఇంకేం కాల్ చెప్పు కదా. అంతే, బ్రేక్ పదును పెట్టకుండా ఇప్పుడు మీడియాలో నన్ను ఇంట్లోకి తీసుకెళ్ళారు. టుమారో మే గెట్ కన్ఫ్యూజ్, అది ఎక్కడిది స్క్రీన్ అని. ఆ స్క్రీన్ హియర్ SQL is getting installed, okay?
Yeah.
Here SCCM is getting installed. So
yeah,
you may get confused. Okay, of course this is a lab, okay, but it okay, installation steps. Installation doesn't take much time and it is very easy. So you can say if you are installing CAS, you have to choose CAS. If you are installing a secondary site, okay, here and then attach it. So in case this is to be a CAS, we connected to CAS, so we will use as a CAS. But if you just install a primary, you can choose as next primary and as evaluation copy, okay, because it works 6 months. Install the required software like this, okay. So here it requires some kind of downloads, okay. Setup to continue. So Microsoft site kelli he has to download some softwares. So for that, in the manual he might have mentioned already somewhere these are available, okay. So just go through it in this step. Somewhere he must have to mention installing child primary, no child primary, green one. So green one, come on. This extending schema, then license segments, okay, redistribute, configure import or redistribute, okay. So go here, you have already downloaded as per him, okay. So go to 2012 or to redistribution, okay. So all these updates will automatically. In fact, actually you should have an internet connection and choose this radio button so that there is 900 MB files, okay, almost. If you look at these are 50 plus or 23 files, which is in a huge in size, okay. So if you look at here, these are the files should download from internet. But why is, since you have already downloaded and kept, okay, 352 MB, it's already level, so it will verify these are the right or not. Okay, it is verified. Click next, then it gets installed. Okay, that's the next steps which we are going to do it.
okay.
Take some time. This is almost clear. You see, right, the machine which is telling us clear. Something is blocking enough?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I want to see. This is చేయాలి మరి ఇది అది కలిపి చెప్పి
ఇది SCCM
వద్దు కదా,
వద్దు.
అయిపోతారు. జస్ట్ ఒక్కసారి ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసిన తర్వాత ఇన్స్టాలేషన్ చేసుకోండి అప్పుడు, ఓకేనా. కదా ఏందో ఒక ఫ్లోలో వెళ్తున్నా, దాని ఫ్లోని మీరు డిస్టర్బ్ చేయకండి. And I'm already the lab anyway, okay, I'm not hiding anything. So I say poise chances something. Okay, so I put you in the లో పింక్ చేశాను వాళ్ళ. అండ్ ఆల్సో మన రామకృష్ణ కూడా పింక్ చేస్తూ ఉన్నా. చేసా. దిస్ ఇస్ ద ల్యాబ్ లింక్. ఓకే, సేవ్ ఇట్ అండ్ డూ ఇట్. This or you want it?
Close the problem.
Bala. No.
Yeah.
If you want to know, tomorrow once it's installed, maybe today it may not happen, okay? In any, if it is completed today or tomorrow, the complete installation, okay? I can through this once again.
ఇది ఇన్స్టాల్ అవడం రేపు అవుద్దా?
మరి ఇప్పుడు అవుతుంది చెప్పు. ఈరోజు కంప్లీట్ అవుతుంది అనుకుంటున్నా. ఇట్స్ ఆల్రెడీ 10.
అనుకున్నాం అయిపోద్దేమో అనుకున్నాం.
సాఫ్ట్వేర్ అంతే బ్రదర్, సాఫ్ట్వేర్ అంతే. దీని ప్రీ రిక్వైర్మెంట్స్ ఇంటెల్ టీమ్ లేదు కదా. ఇంటెల్ టీమ్ టు ఆల్ దీస్ థింగ్స్ కదా. సో
ఇన్స్టాలేషన్ మనం చేసే వర్క్ కదా అక్కడ.
It depends, okay? My friend, it depends, you may not have a SQL team separate, okay, Intel team who can support you. It depends, okay? What I'll do is, I'm preparing you for everything.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
So how to install? Yeah, you know is the problem, at least. True. So there will be few people they don't like the inputs, okay? These are the console languages. Next. Okay, there's a site code which we talked about, right? So if you want to give us a CAS example, CAS, I don't know the mission name. If you know the mission name, you can give it. Central. It is a standard and primary. Otherwise, you can join to a CAS. Okay? So once you can join, SQL ekkadunni ani adugutundi. It will check with the SQL and it gets installed. 1 second. Yes. Here. I wanted to do you checks. This is the one pre-requirement. It says that no, schema is not extended. If you read, okay, double click and read it. Schema is not extended. SQL is not permissions. You don't have a permissions to extend the schema. దీనికి సంబంధించినటువంటి మెమరీ లేదు SQL కి, కావాల్సినంత మెమో లేదు. ILO required settings లేవు because we take wantedly HTTPS. Okay, SQL processing memory ఇవన్నీ కూడా ఇక్కడ ఉన్నాయి, రైట్? సో ఇలా నీకు ప్రతిదీ వస్తుంది. ద సేమ్ థింగ్ అగైన్ దిస్ engine related, you can always check the mode log in the pre-requirements log or setup logs. So this setup, if you open the trace 32, it gives you proper way. Otherwise, it log legal look untundi. Okay na? నేను చేంజ్ చెప్పదలుచుకోలేదు. Okay, got installed now. Okay. Okay, so it requires the SQL service restart. Okay, later point we can do it. Okay, clears. After what we have to do, this is SQL install. Now there is a pre-requirement of SQL service pack. Oh no?
Yeah.
There is a SQL. What we have installed, you can note it down. SQL 2012 we installed. Now we are going to install S3. So this CD, just double click it. Okay. It extract the entire CD to somewhere. In this case, it is this folder. It is getting extracted. Once it is extracted, it gets start the installation. Okay, it automatically wizard will come, and there will be only one option to update. Okay, na? We'll choose. We'll say update. That's it. So which will take another 15 minutes or so. After this, everything is in almost lesser time except the ADK installation. This is the one which takes some time. SQL. In fact, our mission is very fast compared with this mission. ఇంకో నిమిషం కదా ల్యాబ్లో with that it is very powerful machine. Even showing is a less RAM, this has actually 4 GB of RAM. It is again looking for the if you look at Windows Management Instrumentation WMI service, which I talked, okay, this is working or not, because what happened is once the SQL got installed, now SQL also installs some WMI components.
Okay.
He was checking for the WMI. So I think it's green. I accept the terms and conditions. So only update button. Okay. You won't change anything. SQL service. Okay. If any service is getting used, if so, you need to stop it. For example, here in services, MSQL, all those services will be there. Okay. Once the SQL is installed, in fact, actually, you get SQL these services. Okay. So they wanted to stop all these services, because if your some record is getting, like transaction is happening, the transaction information will store in a database. Example, so you are storing, you are allowing them to do some transaction, but you are also stop in between, because updating will happen in a offline way. So stop in the automatic. So the record made loss. That's why he is checking. Okay, so there's nothing in this machine now. So you can stop it and start in or upgradation.
Okay. Yeah.
So just say next. So this happens all the upgradation process, which takes another 5-10 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
If you can, for today, we'll wind up in conclusion, like IAS installation of SQL Service Pack.
Yeah. Install చేసాం అంతే కదా.
That's it. Okay, nothing else. Actually, we can start it from tomorrow.
దాన్ని సర్వర్ మేనేజర్ నుంచి అంతే కదా.
Yes. I told you, all the roles should be installed from server manager. If you know this, okay, you don't know this. For example, Johnny, yes, Papa. Similarly, if you don't kind of, it's a song or there's a name, okay?
Okay.
How you feel, people? Silly, for you also same case. You don't know how to install roles. It's difficult. You must know. It has to be installed from here. Basic, very
ప్రతి ఒక్క రోల్ నుంచి ఇన్స్టాల్ చేయాలా, ఇది కానీ లేకపోతే ఏడీసీ కానీ?
ఇదే కాదు, ఈ different functionalities I gave you in a link, right? Do you remember? Roles, features, related links. Go through. Those all are related to this subject, this server manager that I explained. I also shown you, like DHCP
మనకి అని చెప్పారు కదా, IIS ఒకటి, Windows server update.
These two also important for us. So DHCP. So I have even shown you DHCP ఎలా చేయాలనేది. Right? Clear?
ఎస్సీపీ చెప్పారు కానీ అది ఆల్రెడీ ఇంతకుముందు మీరు చెప్పిన క్లాస్తోనే ఉండిపోయింది కదా, రికార్డింగ్ ఏం లేదు కదా దానికి.
మళ్ళీ పెడతాం కదా మనం ఖచ్చితంగా, చేయాలంటే మళ్ళీ కావాలి కదా. అదే మనం ఏం చెప్పుకున్నామో అవి దాదాపుగా రిపీట్ అవుతాయి.
ఇక్కడితోనే అయిపోతాయేమో, నేను ఇక్కడ రావాలనుకుంటున్నాను.
కాదు, అది బేసిక్. మీరు కనీసం అక్కడ క్యాప్చర్ చేయకపోతే ఇక్కడ ఒకసారైనా క్యాప్చర్ చేసే ఛాన్సెస్ ఉన్నాయి. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ డొమైన్ జాయినింగ్ ఐ హావ్ షోన్ యూ, రైట్? ఎనీవే యూ కాంట్ డూ ఏది ఏమంటారు, DCMO means you cannot do it because domain controller not creates. You go there and you are not going to create domain controller in your office. You are responsible to key for SCCM related. So then again, once again one more chance and matter for everyone. So after you won't get it.
అన్ని ఆ టర్మినాలజీ అండ్ గ్లాసరీ వర్డ్స్ తో కొంచెం ఫెయిల్ అవడానికి స్టార్టింగ్ క్లాసెస్ అన్ని అయినాయి మనకి, అంతేనా?
అది ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ. చెప్పకపోతే ఇక్కడ ఇబ్బంది కాకపోయినా నాకు.
ఇక్కడ ప్రతి టర్మ్ గురించి స్క్రీన్ దగ్గర ఆగి చెప్పుకోవాలి ఇవన్నీ.
తలపైపోతాయి, అసలు ఏం క్లాస్ చెప్తున్నారా బాబు అన్నట్టు అయిపోతుంది. అందుకే అవన్నీ మనం చెప్పుకున్నాం. ఇట్ టేక్స్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ టైమ్ దిస్. ఓకే, బెటర్ నాట్ టు వేస్ట్ యువర్ టైం. ఓకే, click finish even. Okay, tomorrow you can check it. ఓకేనా?
అప్పుడు వరకు ఇలా వదిలేస్తారా భయ్య మీరు?
అంత ఏమని చెప్పు మరి, ఏం పని అలా వదిలే
ఉందా ఇంత అక్కడ?
లేదా, చాలా పనులు ఉంటే వచ్చు.
జాబ్కి వెళ్ళిపోవచ్చు,
ఇప్పుడు వెళ్ళిపోవాలి కదా. My extension part is some quite a fresh mind again for you.
Okay.
It's almost completed, looks like. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, now SQL Service Pack 3 got installed. Okay, what we can do is, okay, just to show you the errors in my 20. Okay, SCCM ఇంకొక CD ఉండాలి ఇక్కడ with SP1. ఇదేం పర్వాలేదు, అదే ఓకే విత్ SP2. This is another one also. So if I click on install, okay, I don't all these errors. Okay, it will smooth గా వెళ్తుంది. వెళ్ళిన తర్వాత I'll give me these options, so I can say that this is a primary site. Okay, and again this is going to be the action copy. Next, and I will accept all these terms and licenses because these gets automatically installed. SQL Express Edition, all these things will install automatically when we use it. So what I have to do is I have to enable internet so that it will go and connect to internet and download. So in case what I've done is I've already downloaded, okay, kept in CD, that's the CD pre, if I'm correct. So this accepts that. It's good. We have to again download it. So this one takes a little bit time in the installation. Here we may encounter different errors like does not have exact signature, because it will validate the hash file. Actually, the 50 files will be verified. Okay, so if you don't have if you have downloaded very long, okay, and little changes happen inside that, okay, it may not allow you to to install it. So you have to re-download under the. Okay, now see, there is a difference, right? Size. Okay, let it take some time. Okay, so it has, checked it. Okay. Now, doing that, it has completed all the verification part. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So it just verified, but while installation, it may, recheck it. Okay, na? What's the site you're going to install here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll talk on these two. I'll talk on these two tomorrow. Okay. These. Okay. But just to, intention is to show other pre-requirements. It is going to check. Okay. The site code, right? You can give any 3-digit. Okay. For example, this can be PR, right? So the site server name, it can be, example, right manner, but key problem, leave it. So standard site, if you have another primary, another central site, you get that site name, so that this goes and attach that site as a child site. Okay. So in case I'm just going to install a standalone. Okay. So the port, actually, SQL server. Okay, going to create a database. Okay. So SQL is installed. So go SQL here, Studio Management. This is the client connectivity tool where you run the queries, everything. Okay. So inside the SQL server, it's going to create. Okay. I'll just show you here. There's a database called reporting database is there, but there is no additional databases. These are the default databases. Okay. So what system is going to do is this installation is going to create a database name called CM_PRI. What PRI? PRI, which we have given the site code. Whatever the site code we gave, that name, a database would get created. Okay. Say okay, and the database is going to locate the server data, and the server will be stored here. Okay. That's fine. Okay. This is my provider. If you remember yesterday's class, SMS provider is the key which is going to install on this machine. Okay.
Okay.
Clear? And yeah. So I will talk later point on HTTP, HTTPS. For now, what I can say is use HTTPs when they have. Otherwise, they just follow normal HTTP method, okay, which is not secure and non-secure. Both can work on this. I'll talk on later point. Okay. The HTTP, this is also HTTP. Okay. Distribution point going to be installed here. Management point going to be installed. Okay. Then join the customer experience. I don't want to join. So this is the summary of your client installation. Remember very clearly, this is the summary, and re-review it once you click on next. The actual pre-requirements will run now. It is still running. So if you see here, schema not installed, not extended. Okay. So how do you extend schema? That I'll explain in the next class. Okay. And you have a WS installed on this main, and have RDC, which I shown you in the first initial class. Today, okay, I did show you here the features. Now you also have RD here, right?
Okay.
Remote this features only, right? Yeah. So remote differential. So this is not checked. That's why you got this. Okay, one second. Where is that? Yeah. Here, okay. It was a failed. Okay. One can be ignored, but you cannot ignore. Begin install. You cannot click begin install because it is required. USMT is required, which comes ADK, Windows Assessment and Deployment Kit, which is nothing but ADK. ADK is not installed, so you must have install ADK. Similarly, Active Directory related one, again this is schema extension chesin tarvata. On top of it, you need to have a permission for this, not to the computer, not the user, to the computer, you should give a permission, which I'm going to explain to you in the next class. Okay, how to extend it. This is one of the pre-requirements. Okay, these are the pre-requirements. We'll go through one by one. Okay. Coming to the SQL memory configuration, it says that you should have at least maximum 8 GB of the RAM. Okay, memory allocation, and here 8 GB and 4 GB minimum undalli free ga. You can't install. I mean, you can install, but you can ignore if ignoring the installation can be done. So in our case, we have already given as a dynamic to grow to 10 GB. So can be ignored these two. Okay. And coming to this, which deployment tools are not installed? This comes because of the ADK. Okay. It's not installed. And also WinPE tools, which comes part of ADK. So take a screenshot. What I'll do is I'll take a screenshot of these for tomorrow to analyze. Okay. Okay. Okay, so this is what the pre-requirements checks, which I have tried to explain to you. This can also run without running all these wizards from the command line by giving the proper command line. Okay. Okay. Log file would be this is file set log, and another log is let me cancel this. I don't want. So here, the log file would be configures your pre-req checks. So it's all these things. Okay. Here bits is not running. Okay. Bits is configure an HTTP rule. Failure cluster ledu. So this another log. Okay. For pre-related. Another one would be the where is that step? Yeah. Setup log. Okay. Setup related log will explain to you clearly. For example, ADK, you need to install ADK. So it got here 10 errors. Example 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So all these errors would be detailed. In detail, it would be explained here. For example, there were 15 files which we downloaded from locally, and it has verified the hash file. This happened while verifying all the hash files. Okay. After we clicked on finish, then it went to WSS checking. So this is not there in WSS. So for WSS, you need to have these two patches. That is 2720211 and 2734608. These two patches were required. Okay, and it checked for the .NET framework. It was there, and this is not there, and it must be installed. Okay, it checks everything. Okay, and it suggests what is missing. Okay, na? So this is a log file for initially you will verify for this setup. After that, there are you get below 1 to 100 logs between. Okay, which will tell you in future whatever you have problem with SCCM software, it refers to that component level log file. So that would help you a lot. Either way, what is your friend? Who is your friend means it's your friend always. Okay, it is your friend. It will explain to you all the errors, warnings. Okay, the proper color. Okay, it will explain. Okay. Well, if it is ending with 0, some error. Okay, it is 0. Return result is 0. What is 0 means? Copy this 0 value. Go to tools, error lookup, enter that error number and look up. It means success. It is completed successfully. 0 means. Okay. Similarly, it has failed. So most of the errors you would get the information what is that error. Okay, go to tools, error lookup, space, so namespace. There is no WMI space. Okay, that it has failed. That means the cluster Is it checking cluster? It's a cluster. So this is okay. This can be ignored because this machine is not a cluster. It should not be a cluster. SCCM cannot install on a cluster software, cluster machine. So this can be ignored. Okay?
Okay.
So this is the class for today. Okay? Still we cover 2 hours. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And we'll continue tomorrow. See you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay? Okay. Have a
Yeah. Once we will
good
see
night.
this.
We will, once we'll continue from here tomorrow. Okay, definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
ఏమన్నా ఉన్నాయి ఇంకా
డౌట్స్ బట్ ఈ రికార్డింగ్ ఒకసారి వస్తే మొత్తం రికార్డింగ్ ని ఇన్స్టాలేషన్ పార్ట్ అంతా ఒకసారి చూస్తాం.
అది వస్తుందిలేండి, ఎప్పుడో ఇచ్చేస్తుంది టైం దొరికినప్పుడు. ఇది ఇమీడియట్ గా రాదు రికార్డింగ్. ఓకే, సో బై టుమారో యూ విల్ గెట్ ఇట్, నో ప్రాబ్లం. ఓకే, వెన్ ఐ హావ్ టైమ్ ఐ కెన్ సెండ్ ఇట్. వాట్ అబౌట్ యూ బాలా?
ఓకే.
అర్థం ఓకే లేకపోతే మొత్తం అర్థమైందా?
బాగానే అర్థం అవుతుంది. ఇన్స్టాలేషన్ ఎర్రర్స్ ఎక్కడ చూసుకోవాలి, ఎలా రిజాల్వ్ చేయాలి.
ఓకే, ఆర్ యూ హ్యాపీ విత్ ద ట్రైనింగ్?
యా, దట్స్ నాట్ ఎ ప్రాబ్లం.
ఓకే, వెరీ గుడ్. ఓకే ఓకే, బాలా అండ్ రమా. ఓకే, ఇద్దరు కృష్ణసే. Okay. While I sending the invitation, I got confused. Both as Krishna.
మంచి భయ్యా, ఇప్పుడు నువ్వు ఆ పేరు బాల, తన పేరు రామ కాబట్టి బలరామ్ అని పిలుచుకో ఇద్దరిని ఒకసారి.
ఓకే, ఇద్దరు కలిసి నాకు బలరాంలో అయిపోతా, నేను అర్జున్లో అయిపోతా, నేను యుద్ధంలోకి వెళ్ళవచ్చు. సూపర్. ఓకే, చలో. ఓకే,
ఓకే రాజ్. బాయ్.